If you want to create a situation where kids stop speaking to each other after you're gone, where simple decisions turn into arguments, delays, and resentment that never gets repaired, then go ahead and name them as co-trustees or co-executors. I'm serious. I have seen families that were perfectly fine while the parents were alive completely fall apart because no one had the authority to make a decision and every step required agreement that never came. What starts as "we're just trying to be fair" turns into months of delays, then years of frustration, and eventually people taking sides, pointing fingers, and questioning each other's motives. And here's the part that should really bother you: this isn't happening because your kids are bad people. It's happening because the plan you put in place forced them into conflict. You didn't prevent a problem, you designed one. I had a client who thought he was doing everything right, and for the most part, he was. One of our strongest recommendations is to never, ever, ever name co agents, and it's almost what he did. He named his daughter first for just about everything: trustee, power of attorney, healthcare agent, conservator of both the estate and the person. His daughter was organized, responsive, and capable, but when it came to his will, he insisted on naming both his daughter and his son as co executors. On paper, it kinda sorta sounded fair in that he was making sure his son was included in his estate management somehow. In reality, it slowed everything down. The daughter was ready to act, ready to sign, ready to move the process forward quickly. The son just wasn't motivated. Documents sat, deadlines stretched on. Every step required both of them, and every delay compounded the next one. A lot of probate attorneys downplay probate because the less clients understand it, the easier it is for them to keep the system going by just doing a will. If that wasn't explained to you, drop a comment. And if this was helpful, please like and subscribe. What should have been a relatively straightforward administration dragged out an extra 4 to 5 months for no reason other than the structure itself. And here's the part most people miss: the daughter wasn't even surprised. She knew exactly how her brother operated, but the plan didn't account for that. The plan assumed cooperation. Now, take this one step further for another case. I have another situation right now where a client is a co-trustee with a sibling over the parent's estate. Real estate, other assets, everything is sitting there waiting to be wrapped up. And the sibling, dragging their feet, not selling the house, not distributing assets, not finalizing anything. About 2 years have gone by like this. The trust estate is just stuck. It shouldn't be, especially because it is a revocable living trust that is designed to move and settle more quickly. And here's where it starts to get uncomfortable. My client's concern isn't just the delay. It's what happens if he dies before the trust settlement is finished. Because if the trust says those assets go to the children per capita, then if one child dies before distribution, the surviving sibling may end up inheriting everything, which means whether intentional or not, the sibling now has a financial incentive to not move quickly. Let that sink in. A structure that was supposed to be fair may actually reward delay. And once you understand that, you start to see how dangerous these setups can be. And you can see how having one person responsible as a fiduciary to get the estate settled as soon as possible can get things done more quickly. This is why anything in estate planning never works the way people think it will. When you name co-trustees, co-executors, or co-agents under a power of attorney, you're not dividing the workload. You're duplicating the bureaucracy, the paperwork, the signatures needed for everything. And every single decision requires agreement. Every action requires multiple signatures. And the moment those two people are not aligned, whether it's personality, priorities, or just responsiveness, the entire process slows down or stops. Estate administration is not theoretical. It's practical. Documents have to be signed, assets have to be transferred, properties have to be sold, and if no one person has clear authority, nothing happens efficiently. The deeper issue here is that most estate plans are built around the idea of fairness instead of function. People want to avoid hurt feelings, so they spread responsibility around. But those roles are not honorary titles. They are jobs. And like any job, you need the right person in charge with the authority to actually do it. If you have two people who work well together, you might get lucky. But if they don't, or if one of them is slower, less organized, or simply less motivated, you've just built delay directly into your plan, just like my clients did when he named his daughter and son as co-executors. And in some cases, as we just discussed, you may have even created unintended incentives that make delay financially beneficial to one of the people involved. A better approach is to name one primary decision maker and then individual backups, not co-authorities. One trustee at a time, one executor at a time, one power of attorney agent at a time. You can name backups, you can build in accountability, and you can structure things so that the right people are involved at the right stages. But the key is clarity. Someone needs the authority to act without waiting on someone else. Because the longer things sit, the more opportunities there are for frustration, conflict, and in some cases, outright manipulation of the situation. When you step back and look at these examples, the pattern is clear. The biggest estate planning failures are not caused by lack of documents, they're caused by design flaws. And co-anything is one of the most common design flaws I see. If you want to understand how to structure your plan so it actually works in the real world, not just on paper, please go to our free course at www.freetrustcourse.com. Again, that's freetrustcourse.com. I walk through this step by step so you can avoid the kind of mistakes that turn a good plan into a long, frustrating mess. Now, as I always tell my clients, please stay safe, plan ahead, and enjoy life. And whatever you do, make it a great day.